year, Guru Purnima. गुरु पूर्णिमा के बड़ी महत्व है. All over India, particularly in the northern parts of India, this day is celebrated as Guru Purnima. It is also called as Vyas Purnima. व्यास पूर्णिमा भी कहते हैं क्योंकि ऐसे एक प्रचलन है, ये व्यास देव की जन्म है. There is a understanding that this is the birth day of Vyasadeva. Of course, we also say whether it's a title, is Vyasa is a title or a person. There are a lot of discussions about all that. But essentially इस दिन हम लोग वही व्यासदेव के उपासना करेंगे. We worship that Vyasa was responsible for organizing the Vedas into 4 divisions, who wrote the Brahma Sutra, the Bhagavata Purana, and all that, Mahabharata. In one way, you can say the person who really re-established Hindu Dharma. और ये रामकृष्ण संघ के अंदर this was really started by the 10th Guru, Srimad Swami Vireshwaranand Ji Maharaj, because in the Ramakrishna tradition, so many gurus give diksha. बहुत गुरु तो दीक्षा देते हैं. So if everybody starts the birthday of their own guru, then it will be a big chaos. So उन्होंने बोला ऐसा कोई मानना ही बहुत ही एक निंदनीय, उन्होंने कहा ही शब्द में, trying to observe the birthday of Guru, his physical coming into earth, that's really said something one should never attempt. I think there was a great sage in southern India, he was called Ramana Maharshi. वो तो आश्रम में he always used to go around in this whole ashrama with just a loin cloth. He was really extraordinary Brahma ke Purush. One day they were organizing his birthday celebration. उसको बोला नहीं, उन्हें तो मना कर दिया, would have stopped it. And there was so much of noise, and उन्होंने पूछा क्या वो, what's happening today? No, Bhagwan, it's your birthday. Then in South India, if you have to really condemn something, they do like this. Ram, aisa. The day this immortal soul got caged into this body, instead of weeping, you are celebrating. This is your condition. And he simply walked away. So, Maharaj ne kaha, Vireshwaranand Ji, let the birthdays of all gurus, we shall observe on Guru Purnima. Guru Purnima is same, everybody can participate. Us din se, all the Mutt mission centers of Ramakrishna Mission and Mutt, they observe this function in a big way, and probably this is the beginning of the celebrations, because then there will be Janmashtami, Durga Puja, Kali Puja, Jagatratri Puja, then Maa ki Janamdin, then Swamiji, Raja Maharaj, Thakur. It will all go, it will end with probably Dol Purnima, you can say, then the celebrations end. Again there are 2-3 months, not many celebrations, maybe minor. Then in a big way it starts again with Guru Purnima. So this idea of Guru, which we discussed very elaborately some 3-4 days back, I think many of you might have attended, so I do not again go deep into all that. But it's not a small matter to be either the Guru or the disciple. Our Shastras prescribe enormous rules and regulations, qualifications for both the Guru as well as the disciple. The Guru, they say, should be Srotri, Avrajana, should be free from any sins. Srotri, well versed in the Shastras. इतना तक नहीं है, शास्त्र के अनुसार उनका जीवन भी जीना है. इसलिए पढ़ लिया, जो अच्छा संस्कृत जानते हैं पढ़ते हैं, but Shrotriya means he has read the Shastras, got the essence of them, and his life is an example of the Shastras. Because in our idea also in the Shastras, so many things are mentioned. लेकिन उसके आधार क्या है? What is the proof? Where do we get? Only when you see the lives of great souls, extraordinary people, they testify. उनका जीवन देके समझ पाएंगे आप, हाँ शास्त्र में जो कहा गया वो सही है. So the testimony of the Shastras or the lives of extraordinary personalities. So gurus are like that, because Ramakrishna clearly says, unless you are mandated by God, आपका चपरास मिले, पावर ऑफ अटर्नी मिले, भगवान आपका ऐसे कोई क्षमता दे, शक्ति दे, तब आप गुरु बन सकते. Even if you do it, nothing will happen that way if you are a guru. So then, not only that, Brahmanishta should be a person established in Brahma. Imagine not that ऐसा कभी कभी कुछ अनुभूति हुई, not that much. You should be fully established, always in that bhava, in that condition, so that the mind never comes down. So that is also another. And then it says, akamahata. Even if I are a Brahmanishta, there should not be even any trace of desire. मान लीजिए आपकी 5 शिष्य हैं, उसके अंदर आप एक के ज़्यादा आपका प्यार है, सोचते हैं वो अच्छा करेगा. Even that is also a desire. No desire. Should be free from desires. Such a person is good. Similarly, if you look at the qualities demanded of the शिष्य, शिष्य के बारे में जो कहा गया था, अभी अभी दौड़ के हम लोग भाग जाएंगे. The first thing is nitya anitya vastu viveka. The discrimination between what is real and unreal. मैं तो कह सकता हूँ, if we practice this one discipline, we don't need anything else in our life. Because every day, at the end of the day, if you sit and think how we spend the day, 99.99% has gone in anitya only. Maybe 0.001% we may get something nitya. So, but our Shastra says, unless you are established in this, unless you have practiced this nitya, anitya, vastu, viveka, you are not qualified to be a disciple. आप कोई ऐसे गुरु के पास, कई लोग आते हैं, महाराज, how do we get such a guru? अरे आप क्या योग्य हैं, पहले देखो, whether do you qualify to get such a guru? Even if such a guru comes, you will not be able to make anything out of him. Supposing Thakur comes today, we will all drive him away with a stick. Where from this madman has come? Will you be able to recognize? No. See, even great sadhakas sometimes they could not recognize. See, there was a great saint in South India. He was called Tyagaraja. He was a great devotee of Lord Rama. Whole lot of songs he has composed, mostly in Telugu. It's all called Tyagaraja Kriti. Even now, they are the bedrock on which the South Indian classical music is established. But he was a great devotee of Rama. The Ram Lakshman Sita Vigraha which he worshipped is even now kept. You can have a darshan of it in the place of his birth, in Tiruvayar, which is near Tanjavur in Tamil Nadu. He was so much praying to Ramchandra for his vision. He was so deeply devoted. तो एक दिन बाहर बैठे थे, लेकिन दो सुंदर बालक जा रहे हैं. We were just sitting outside. We saw 2 handsome young lads going in front in the street. अंदर आगे फिर बहुत प्रार्थना करे. Again he is praying, weeping and praying. Then he heard an ashariri vani, that is a voice without form, says, "Arey, we came, you didn't recognize." So his Rama and Lakshmana were going, but he couldn't recognize. If that is of course ultimately he had vision of Ramchandra, if that is for great sadhakas like Tyagaraja, what to speak of you and me? So, it says the first qualification is one should understand the difference between Nitya and Anitya and practice it anavrata, always be established in that. Because if you understand this, we can never do anything wrong in life. Because the moment you put it before this simple test, whether it's Nitya or Anitya, if Anitya is to be rejected, all the wrongdoings, all our desires, all our problems, everything will be solved in a second. Because it's all Anitya, to be discarded immediately. Very difficult to practice, but at least let us know what is expected. We all want to be disciples. Many of us have taken Diksha also. Whether we are anywhere near that, let us try to understand. And then he says, Iha amutra falabhoga viraga. That means Tyaga. Tyaga is one of the greatest qualities emphasized in spiritual kingdom or spiritual sphere and the spiritual world, because without Tyaga, without renunciation, any higher experience or going deeper in spiritual life, absolutely not possible. Have you ever heard billionaires, they had everything, hundreds of cars and hundreds of houses, and they also realized God? Invariably, if we read the life story of saints all over the world, whether they were Sufis or Christian mystics or Hindu saints, invariably they had a poor background. Because Tyaga should be inbuilt in life. Without that, spiritual realization or advancement in life is not at all possible. So obviously that's why this is a qualification demanded of the disciple, whether his life is one of Tyaga. Does he really practice renunciation? And then Sharadamadi, Sampat, Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan. Each is so difficult. Shama is controlling of the senses. Dama is not allowing the mind to run after them. Uparati is a kind of great restraint from anything that is related to the world. And Titiksha is forbearance, tapasya. Vivek Chudamani says, Sahanam sarvadukkanam apratikara purvakam. Chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha. What's the type of titiksha that Vivek Chudamani speaks of? Sab dukkha sahan karna. All sorrows, sufferings are to be you have to forbear and bear with all such dukkha and sufferings. In which way? Apratikara purvakam. You cannot protest. Many of us, definitely we also put up with sufferings and dukkha and all that. But there's tremendous reaction in the mind, is it not? We protest. Why it is? Why me? Why it happened to me? I am a devotee. I am a good person. I have not done anything wrong. Why in my life like this? Why Thakurman Swamiji like that? No. Apratikara purvakam. Not only that. चिंता विलाप रहितम. आप अकेला जाके दरवाजा बंद करके कमरे के अंदर बैठ के रोना भी चलेगा. You cannot just go and close your room and weep all alone. No. Chinta vilap rahitam. You cannot even lament like that. That is called titiksha. And then Shraddha. Shraddha is a great quality. It is not something very poorly translated as faith. It is not faith. It's far beyond that. Again. So, Shraddha is that quality. It's called Astikya Buddhi. It's something, something within you stirs you. When you really come in touch with, come in the atmosphere of anything spiritual, the deep inborn unexpressed, that faith or belief in something transcendental, spiritual, something which is otherworldly, all that is come out with this word called Shraddha. There is no equivalent English word for that. Then Samadha, there's something like Samadhi, where you completely, where you are totally at peace. Like in the yogas, they say, Taila Dharavat, like the pouring of an oil from one vessel to another, unbroken. That kind of the mind is completely at peace and you are always union with the highest. That kind of so these are the, and then apart from all that, finally, the fourth quality which a disciple should have is mumukshutva. Mumukshutva is the ichcha or desire for liberation. Honestly, how many of us really feel that we are bound, we are in bondage, we are in such a condition, we need liberation. Every day there is fight, there is disagreement in the house, in the family, everywhere. But then we quickly make up and then get ready for the next day. Again the same thing is repeated. There is no change in the agenda or in the items. But yet, how many of us really feel that if really I can give you now, it's not possible. Not possible at all. Even if God comes and says, we cannot accept it very easily. Unless one is really prepared, unless one has gone through all the disciplines. Spiritual life requires tremendous preparation. That's why it is called in the Upanishad, Churasya dhara nishita durataya durgam patastat kavayo vadanti. They say it's like walking on razor's edge. I don't think one can give a more apt or a really extraordinary simile or comparison. Imagine walking on the edge of a knife. I mean, how extremely careful one has to be. Even a little deviation here or there, gone. Their foot will cut off. So, spiritual life demands eternal vigilance, tremendous vigilance, awareness. Otherwise, and then this mumukshutva, this desire for liberation. I will give you two examples which will clearly say that how difficult it is to practice this, or even if it is available, we cannot get it. See, in those days, when the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, they were alive, there were not so much of rules and regulations and all that. And some of the monks, they used to visit as they like some devotees' houses and all that. Now there are a lot more restrictions, etc. Because the organization has become much bigger. So Swami Subodhananji was a disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He was affectionately called Koka Maharaj for his extremely childlike nature. So he used to visit Salkya, somewhere near Belur Math, within some 4 or 5 kilometers. He visited a devotee's house. He reached there on the 31st of December. The next day morning, baith ke chai pite, he was just having tea. Then he told that lady of the house, देखो मैं तो आपका घर में 1 साल रहा. It was next day, it was the 1st of January. I stayed 1 year in your place. And then the lady suddenly said, Maharaj, इस दिन तो ठाकुर तो कल्पतरु हुए थे, आप भी कल्पतरु होके मेरे कृपा करो. So this day Thakur had become the Kalpataru, you also become Kalpataru and bless me. And immediately the Swami became very grave. इतनी गंभीर हो गए, सिर्फ इतना ही पूछा, उनकी तरह देख के, क्या मांग रहे हो बोलो, तुम्हें की चाश बोलो, what do you want? Simply, she became terribly confused. Words, she was struggling for words. कुछ बोल नहीं पा रही. हाँ ना महाराज आप আপনি উনুনে পাশে বসবেন আমি গরম গরম খিচুড়ি করে খাওয়াবো আপনি খাবেন you will sit near this oven I'll prepare hot খিচুড়ি for you you will eat okay ठीक है she could have asked Maharaj give me mukti that's what she was thinking Thakur had become Kalpataru that day he awakened the spiritual consciousness of so many people but when he turned towards her and gravely said tell me finished it's not possible so unless one is extremely prepared even prepared souls they find it very difficult the one lady was assisting Nivedita school her name was Sudhira they used to call her Sudhira Didi she was so wonderful she was a spinster she never married totally devoted to spiritual life most probably she was mother's disciple so they were all the party was going to Benares so Benares के कुछ स्टेशन पहले 3-4 स्टेशन पहले होगा ट्रेन का दरवाज़ा खुला था वो सुधीराती गिर गए गुजर गई the door was open Sudhirati fell down and died nobody could understand how she could fall like that she's not a child she's quite a grown up person बाद में उन लोग राजा महाराज को पूछा they asked राजा महाराज how महाराज why it happened to Sudhirati राजा महाराज simply said अचानक उनका इष्ट दर्शन हुआ और संभाल नहीं पाए इसलिए वो गिर suddenly she had a vision of her ishta she could not sustain spiritual now another incident I tell you there's one boy called Chandramohan वो उद्बोधन में माँ के बहुत सारे छोटा बड़ा बहुत काम करता था बहुत ही प्यारा था माँ बहुत स्नेह करते थे हमेशा माँ के पास प्रसाद मांगते थे महाराज देते थे वो भी खाता था बाकी बड़े बड़े साधु सन्यासी बहुत सोचते थे ऊपर जाने के लिए माँ के पास अदर सन्यासीज ऑल यूज्ड टू हेसिटेट बिकॉज यू नो इट इज can't go just like that near mother but this Chandramohan could go anytime because bachpan se from a young age he is with mother he had complete total access unrestricted access to mother and he could go anytime so she was then you know one Swami by name Swami Pragyananda this Swami was little mischievous so he said अच्छा चंद्रमोहन तुम माँ के पास जो मर्जी मांग सकते हो कैन यू आस्क एनीथिंग फ्रॉम मदर हाँ कोई सवाल ही नहीं है आई कैन आस्क एनीथिंग नो प्रॉब्लम वो कुछ नहीं जानता था बेचारा सच एन इनोसेंट बॉय यंग पर्सन मे बी अबाउट 16-17 years old I don't know then this Swamiji taught him you go and tell mother I want mukti मेरा मुक्ति चाहिए आप जाके मांगो माँ से and you know he said no problem I'll go and ask so he went upstairs mother was then also sitting after puja she was sitting on the asana so this Chandramohan went inside simply mother turned her face and just looked at him, that's all. He just looked at Chandramohan. Chandramohan तो दिमाग पूरा खाली हो गया, he had nothing in his head. Then for a couple of minutes, he could not say anything. Then he said, Prasad. And mother said, possibly. वो लेके नीचे आए बोल रहे हैं उनका 1 घंटा लगा वही अवस्था से निकलने just that one look of mother it took him 1 hour to become normal it was so powerful so it's not so easy to even receive the grace of great souls or extraordinary beings, Adhikarika Purushas, what to speak of avatars or avatara Sanghini like Ma. You see, Sri Ramakrishna, little about Mother as Guru, because we all love to hear about Mother. See, Sri Ramakrishna told her, O Saraswati Gyandita Shishi. She is Ma Saraswati. She has gone to give knowledge. What kind of knowledge? Is it any ordinary knowledge? No. It's the flowering of that extraordinary awareness which will lead to a life transforming vision of the divinity. ऐसा जीवन में सोच में परिवर्तन लाएगा, उसी से अंत में दिव्यता उपलब्ध करेंगे. That's the type of knowledge, it's not an ordinary knowledge. Because माँ के गुरु रूप में उन्होंने जो काम किया, mother's role as guru, the biggest role was awakening of consciousness. आध्यात्मिक चेतना जागरण, और ही माँ का सबसे बड़ा काम था गुरु रूपी. माँ के बारे में हम लोग बहुत तरीका समझने के लिए कोशिश करते हैं. कभी माँ के गुरु रूप में, माँ के माँ की तरह ही सबसे हम लोग पसंद है. कई बार देवी रूप में भी सोचते हैं. We try to understand mother as guru, as mother herself, and as Devi, but these are parts of an indivisible whole. ऐसे कोई इसका टुकड़ा करना, भाग करना संभव ही नहीं है. क्यों? ये सब वो आध्यात्मिक वही जगह से जो शक्ति निकल रही है, वही शक्ति की परिचय है. This is the power drawn from that ultimate source, namely Brahman. So this cannot be divided that way. But yet, we, in our own little understanding, we try to look at her. But what happens? Sometime or other, we all understand that three are blended harmoniously into one personality. ये तीनों के अंदर इतनी समन्वय है, तीनों मिलके एक ही हो जाता है. आप जैसे गहराई में जाने के प्रयास करेंगे, अनुभव करेंगे. क्योंकि आप जैसे माँ के गुरु रूप में हम लोग जब समझने के लिए प्रयास करते हैं, पता भी नहीं चलता है कैसे आपको किसी गोद में बिठा लेती है. The moment you try to understand her as guru, suddenly you find that she has drawn her into her lap and you are experiencing her motherhood. आपके माँ के बारे में सोचते सोचते अचानक आपका देवी के भाव अनुभव करते हैं. It what happened? Most probably it was राजबिहारी महाराज. क्योंकि वहाँ बहुत ही स्नेह करते थे. बचपन से माँ के पास, बचपन में आया था वो. At a very young age he came to mother. So एक बार he was just sitting at the feet of mother. तो by the time mother was fairly old, मर भी हो गया था. बहुत ऐसे बीमार की वजह से, मलेरिया वगैरह, she was very really lean and thin. Her legs were very thin and she was emaciated. रंग भी ऐसे ही काला था. उन्होंने सोचा हम लोग तो माँ के बारे में क्या क्या सोच रहे हैं, लेकिन ऐसे ऐसे पैर, such a thin and lean pair of legs, we think of her as universal mother. In a trice, he saw in place of mother Jagadhatri city. Jagadhatri is one of the most beautiful forms of divine mother. आप लोग कभी जगद्धात्री पूजा देखे होंगे क्या मालूम नहीं है. जगद्धात्री, the most decorated and the most beautiful form of mother, even much more than Mother Durga that way. Suddenly you find that in the place of mother, he simply swooned. वो तो गिर पड़े जमीन पे। फिर जब उनको संज्ञा वापस आया, वो देखे माँ उसके पीठ पे हाथ रखे, ओ राजबिहारी उठो उठो, क्या हुआ? ओ राजबिहारी गेट अप, व्हाट हैपेंड? देखें वैसे की वैसे वही रुग्ण पैर, that lean thin legs and that emaciated black figure. So the more you try to experience her as mother, suddenly when she will transform herself into a divine being, as a deity, again there is another matter of great surmise and doubt and what not. Of course, her whole mission was to dispel the darkness from the devotees and lead them to the ultimate goal of spiritual destiny or God realization. So, if you talk of a mother, it is an unquestionable love of an extraordinary nature, a love which demanded nothing. It was ready to give in an unrestrained way. In how many ways she would give. Someone like Girish Ghosh was from Calcutta. तो सुबह उनका तो उठ के ही चाय पीने की अभ्यास है, bed tea. Where will you get bed tea in Jairambati? It was a pakka village, even now it's a village. Mother goes at early morning 4:30 to collect milk from others' houses so that she can prepare bed tea for Girish Ghosh. Every day Girish Ghosh sees that his bedsheet is neat and clean and washed. How is it? So he gets up at 8:30, 9. Bed tea पी के वो धीरे धीरे जा रहे हैं घूमने के लिए. He is going for a stroll. He says कोई तालाब में माँ बैठ के उनकी चादर वही she is washing the chadar which had used the previous day. So these are all unimaginable, the way in which she can. But the same Girish Ghosh had an extraordinary transformation because unka was so devoted to Thakur. माँ के बारे में सोचे थे, माँ तो गुरु का पत्नी है, वाइफ ऑफ गुरु, इतना ही वो पहले सोचा था. But then after the Mahasamadhi of Sri Ramakrishna, he had a son and he felt it was by the grace of Thakur. And that boy was extremely devoted to Holy Mother. But, unfortunately, he died very young. Within maybe 4 or 5 years. He was completely shattered. So, kya kare? Then Swami Niranjananand ji told him, no, you come to Jairambati. Jairambati aaye. See, in Calcutta, mother always used to put on the veil. No male member could ever see her face. वो इतना दूर तक रहता था. But in Jairambati, she would be free. So Jairambati थे, उन्होंने पहले बार माँ के मुँह दर्शन किया. First time he saw the face of mother, he was stunned. He came back to his room and he was not talking to anybody. Then after much prodding by others, then he says, go and ask mother whether it was she who appeared and cured me from an incurable disease when I was 17 years old. 17 साल उम्र में ऐसा बीमार पड़ा, सब डॉक्टर्स हाथ साफ कर दिए थे, बस गया करके. बोला अचानक ऐसी कोई देवी का माँ का मूर्ति का दर्शन हुआ, वो आया, उनके मुंह में कुछ खिलाया, उस दिन से वो सुस्त होती है धीरे धीरे. वो क्या है, कहाँ है, कभी नहीं सोचा भी, देखा भी नहीं है. अभी देख रहे हैं वही मूर्ति है. When he was 17 years old, he was suffering from an incurable disease. The doctors had given up. And then suddenly he saw an extraordinary mother's face. That mother fed him something, and that day he recovered completely. Till now, probably when she went to mother, she was probably close to 50 or something like that. And suddenly found, and when somebody asked mother, she said yes. Not only that, don't think that I am just your Guru Patni. I am not just your Guru's wife. I am not a mother of assumed relationship. Pathana Maunoi. Shatta Janani. I am your real mother. So, all of us who have come in this tradition of Thakur Man Swamiji, we have such extraordinary spiritual support for us. Only thing is, in our own humble way, जो भी संभव है, at least constantly, if we remember that, how in spite of all our inadequacies, जितने भी अयोग्य हो हम लोग, फिर भी हमेशा करुणा बरसाते रहते हैं. How grace is being poured on us in spite of our inadequacy. यही ध्यान रख के जितना संभव हम लोग साधनशील होंगे, then our life will be definitely elevated and will be taken to a truly elevating spiritual realm. So आज यहाँ ही मेरा वाणी की विराम देता हूँ. It is all offer our pranams at the feet of Purnima Swamiji, so that they may slowly guide us to the ultimate destiny of our life. छोटी छोटी दो अनाउंसमेंट है. आज शाम को बहुत सुंदर एक क्लासिकल गिटार बजाएंगे.